1, 2, 3.
Sometimes.
Yes, I won't say all.
It's true.
Do my ministers see this?
Yeah.
When you play a pivotal role in these people's life, it's just not the pastor or the apostle job. It's all of us. Because now we got to teach these people this book. Because they don't know. They're reading it, but they don't understand. Maybe not all the time. Maybe it's some things in there that's clear to them, but everything in that Bible is not clear to them. That's why he gave you, evangelist, prophet, Dancy, revelation of the word, and he have given you the gift of teaching. Minister Common, he give you the gift of teaching. Elder Sawyer, he give you the gift of teaching. Pastor Washington, teaching. Apostle, teaching. So we can teach them that they come up in the faith, teach somebody else.
Right.
Each one, teach one, reach one.
That's right. The Bible saying all I get, get wisdom. It's a principle, but what good is you being wise if you ain't understanding what you wise about?
And we're gonna share it with.
Who you gonna share it
We're
with?
gonna share it with
That's
you
right.
in the house.
The understanding is just more important to me, or more important than having the wisdom. That's the principal thing. But the Bible said all I get understanding. Being wise is no good if you don't understand what you're wise about.
Right, you can't be wise. Go ahead.
Then the scripture prophesies a time like this. It speaks in Revelations and the other parts of the scripture where diverse sicknesses will come. And well, it'll get to a time when we can't even tell the season anymore.
Right.
So it's not.
Those times,
Well,
those end times are coming,
They here.
and they are here. But
Right.
listen to this: if you're gonna break the end times down,
Right.
there are, although we see manifestations of everything, and let me really break it down and put it plain to you.
Okay.
To every authentic thing that God does, Satan has a counterfeit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay? You have to know the difference between the work of God and the work of the devil. And that's why a lot of people have been deceived by people that come in the name of the Lord and being up in the pulpit saying they in the name of the Lord, and they messing folks up.
Right.
We have to teach people to know the difference between something that's God, Sister Hampton, or something that's of the devil. Because the devil can come. He knows heaven. Why? Why does the devil know heaven? Say it again. He was an angel. He was there. He can conform to be an angel of light.
Right.
He know what to say, what to do to get you going. The devil knows.
Yes.
He know you just like God knows you. The question is, do you know you?
Right. Come on.
You got to know God. So back to what you're saying about the end time, Sister Martha, is there's a revival that has to take place
Right.
in the house of God.
Yeah.
There are, until you see souls being at the altar, flooding the altars on Sundays, I'm talking about people running to get saved. You ain't seen it yet. Y'all ain't seen that yet. Before all of this stuff hit, people are gonna flood out the house of God, crying out, "What must I do to be saved?"
Yes.
That's how you know we are gonna be at that time. And when we reach that time, now y'all watch what I tell you.
Yeah.
When we reach that time, Minister Carmen, there won't be no option. People they're gonna come and they're gonna padlock our churches.
That's right.
When we start seeing people turning away from the world, running into the church, that enemy gonna get so mad that he's losing power in the world. Because the church raising up with power, that they're coming to padlock our church. That's what the Bible said. We ain't got there yet. They ain't come. Didn't y'all walk through those doors? Was there a lock on that door when y'all came? Is we outside?
No.
We still in here, aren't we?
Yes.
And there's gonna come a time, and I pray to God that when that day come, I'll be gone.
Yes.
I ain't trying to be here with a rap. I just want God to go ahead and take me before that day comes. I'm serious. Some things I don't want to experience when it comes to the end time. There are some stuff y'all don't want to live through when the end times get here.
Exactly.
What we are seeing now, Sister Martha, to wrap it all up and give it back to Elder Sawyer, what we are seeing now is things to tell us, get on your post, do what you're supposed to do. Because the time is winding up.
Yes.
It's getting late in the evening.
Yes.
And the sun going down.
God know how to do
yeah,
it.
we
People
just
got
need-
conference call praying, I know we said about no prayer, but people praying, all this stuff that we should be doing, it's a praying time, it's been a praying time.
Exactly, absolutely.
Now everybody wanna have a shut-in. We've been talking about shut-in.
Yeah, it's really a trick, and you got, the bottom line is this right here. And in spite of and regardless of, you have got to have faith. Not only have you got to have it, but you got to apply it. You got to apply it, because guess what? Nobody see themselves getting that.
That's right.
Nobody wants that. You know, I don't want to see none of my family members with it, nobody in the church, my friends and neighbors. No, I don't. You know, but I don't know who time it is to go away from here. You know, I don't, that's not my calling. So I wouldn't know. Okay.
I had somebody reach out to me from, they had got my number from this other lady. I prayed for her healing over the telephone. God healed her of, some type of cancer, I forget the name of it. But God healed her over the phone. And she gave my number without my permission, I would add, to somebody way in another state. And they called me and they said, well, Prophet, this lady, gave me the lady name, said that they were dealing with X, Y, and Z, and one day you prayed for them over the phone, God delivered. And I want prayer for my mom, cause she contracted the COVID-19. And I'm just crazy enough to believe that when you pray that God is gonna heal my mom. First thing is, we're your pastor. We're your pastor. Why you calling my phone for me to pray?
Right.
I told my uncle last night, I said, I'm gonna start charging people that's asking
I was
me
getting
for
ready to
prayer.
say, it's in the offering.
'Cause
Sometimes.
this right here, faith walkers, this is my focus.
Right.
This is what God, right, this is what God called me to. I'm not gonna be wasting oil on people that don't value the anointing. Now, I prayed
Right.
for them, cause that's the godly thing to do. But
Right.
we're not gonna make this no habit.
Right.
And because I believe in who I'm praying to, and I pray, believe it, and not waver in my faith,
That's right.
he gonna call me back and give me the report of God healed his mother. But now we ain't gonna make this no habit. Cause next time you ask me for prayer, you gonna do what the Bible says. You're not gonna come before the prophet empty-handed.
Right.
You have prophets in your midst. Me and Apostle, we y'all prophet.
You gotta stop letting people prostitute, you know, and use you,
Yeah.
it's true. And
We building you.
Right.
Amen. You take care of us, we gonna take care of you.
Right. Okay. If I may, have your permission. Okay, who was reading? Yes.
Sister Crystal.
Sister Kristen, did you read, 3 scriptures? What you read, 23, what, 22, 23, 24? Okay, thank you very much. Sister Feedy, 11, Hebrews 11 chapter, we about through, y'all, we about to be there. Verse 27, 28, and 29.
By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who was invisible. Through faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. By faith they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land, which the Egyptians are saying to do were drowned. By faith the walls of Jericho fell down after they were compassed about 7 days.
Amen. All this happened by faith. They had enough faith, trust, and believe that these things would come into existence, and they did. By faith. Everything that we've been talking about has been about faith, belief, and trust. Okay, Sister Margaret,
Yes, ma'am.
can you read for me Hebrews 30, 31, and 33? This is dealing with the Old Testament, because back in the day, in the Old Testament is where they really applied faith in their life. You know, they had to. They believed God, they trust God, and they had faith. They did whatever they were supposed to do through faith. They didn't have nothing wrote down. They didn't write down. They didn't question God. When God gave them something to do, they didn't question it. They didn't go and say, Brother AJ, Pastor told me to do this right here. What you think about it? They didn't do that. They just did it. And we, as people of God, we should not question our leaders. When they ask us to do something, we should do it and trust and believe that it's coming from God. They're just men and they're messengers, and that God is using them to bring us a message. And especially if they're watching over our souls, because they're the shepherds of the house. And everything comes through them for us, the shepherd. Even Aaron, y'all remember the story about Aaron and the oil ran down his beard? Okay, God is going to deal with us through them. When, God told me that I was going to be a minister. First and foremost, I didn't believe it, and I didn't tell nobody, because I really wasn't trying to do that. Because I was young. And in my mind, a minister had to do this, and you had to walk like a chalk line, especially back then. Whether you had to walk one or not, you better walk one. Because people that knew that you had that calling on your life, they told you you're out of order, and then they told your leader that you was out of order. So, it was real important, again, that I do exactly what I was told to do. And I just can't, I'm not up here cheerleading and trying to boast for them and none of that, because it ain't about them. It's about this word right here, and leadership and guidance and direction and having faith to believe in them. Because if I didn't believe in them, I wouldn't have joined. I would not have joined. I would not have been coming here. And I came here years ago. I remember when Apostle had but 4 people. And guess what? He was doing open rebuke back then. So that's just him. There's that new, like the book of Ecclesiastes, that new on the sun. That new. Okay, that's it, Sister Martha.
By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down after they were compassed about 7 days. By faith, the harlot Rahab perished not with them that believed not, when she had received the spies with peace. Who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions.
Good, by faith. And this is just, when I was reading and I was praying, I said, Lord, lead me. What is it that you want me to talk about? Let them hear you and none of me. Let me get out the way. You use me as an vessel to carry your message. Because this is not about me. And he got me stuck right there in Hebrews. Because this is, the beginning. Back in the beginning, because the Old Testament is where everything actually happened. And then the New Testament came into fruition. Because it without the old, it would be no new. So, this is history. Yeah, the Old Testament is history. A lot of times, when you look at it and you want to know about something that happened back when, go to the Old Testament. And then it'll tell you where to go at in the New Testament. And that's for clarification. And a lot of times it has helped me to get a clearer understanding of what it is that I'm reading or what it is that I'm studying. Okay, I'm going to read this and then I'm going to turn it back over to the pastor. I'm going to read an epistle, James, and it says this: faith without works cannot be called faith. So that means you got to do something. You can't just say, I got faith, and sit on your lounge. I got faith. I ain't worried about it. I got this. That's what they say, I got this. Okay? Faith without works is dead. So if I'm a preacher, I got to preach sometime or another. If I'm an usher, I got the usher. I can't say I'm an usher, and every time the leader or the usher boy come to me, can you usher this Sunday? No, I can't usher this Sunday. No. Faith without works is dead. Okay? And a dead faith is worse than no faith. Ain't that something? You might as well not have no faith. A dead faith is worse than no faith at all.
I ain't heard that.
Faith must work.
Come on, that's
It must produce. It must be visible. Verbal faith is not enough. Mental faith is insufficient. Faith must be there, but it must be more. It must inspire actions. Throughout James' epistle to Jewish believers, James integrates true faith and everyday practical experience by stressing that true faith must manifest itself in the works of faith. So faith without works is dead. And dead faith is worse than no faith. Faith endures trials. That means when you're going through, see, this is the thing I learned. People say, how you doing, child? I'm just going through. Thank God you're going through, because if I'm going through, that means I'm still moving.
Right.
I'm in trouble if I'm stuck. Because if I'm being stuck, it means you at a standstill. Go through. I'd rather go through. You know, and there was a song one time they said, no pain, no gain. Y'all remember that?
All right.
No pain,
No gain.
no gain. Trials come and they go. But a strong faith will face them head on and develop endurance. Faith understands temptation. It will not allow us to consent to our lusts and slide into sin. You can have faith and then sneaking over there with Jody. Something wrong with that picture. You can't have faith and sneak over there with Cheryl. Eddie, my buddy, y'all. I made Eddie my buddy. But you just, you know, a lot of times we do stuff out of ignorance. We don't be knowing. We think, oh, this ain't nothing but fortification. No, it's a bit more than that. Where your faith at? You better go pray. Take a hot shower. Lord, help me to hold out.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Get somewhere and sit down. You remember that song? Until my change
until my
come.
change is
You better say, till my husband come or till my wife come. You definitely don't want God to come and you out of place.
All right. All right. All
Don't you
right.
be caught in the rapture. All right, I'm gonna say help me to hold out. Faith obeys the word. It will not merely hear and not do. Faith produces doers. So if you are a doer, Sister Carmen, that you're a woman of faith. Because you're a doer and you do everything Pastor makes you to do. And some things they don't. And that's a good thing. That ain't a bad thing. That's a good thing. You know, I do too. People person. When you are a people's person, that means you love people. And regardless of where they come from, what they look like, you know, what they smell like, how they dress, and that doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, you just love the person, because if you love a person long enough, they're gonna change. They're just like, you know, when we first get saved, there are some things about our lives that need to be changed. But what has to occur is people have to have time to be patient with new babies when they come into church.
Right.
You know, because when a baby poop on himself, Okay, Crystal has to clean that baby. Okay, Crystal gives that baby a bath.
That's right.
You know, she bathes the baby. She pulls the water out. She ain't gonna throw the baby out. Don't do that. Don't do that. And that's how it is. New believers and new babies in Christ, they poop on themselves. You don't throw them away, you throw the poop away. You clean them up, sit them down, and talk to them, say, now look, we gotta do better. You explain to them why. You don't just tell them, you don't need to be doing this, and you don't need to be doing that, and da-da-da-da-da-da. No, you explain to them why. It's important to do better and not continually in the same behavior or the same practice, because you're no longer that individual that you were before you came to Christ. Before you did Romans 10:9, you become a new person in Christ. That's why it's important to get baptized. When you get baptized, the old man goes in the water. That's in the water. When you come up out the water, you become a new creature in Christ. You know, and a lot of people don't understand, you know, baptism and just a lot of things about the church, period. You know, and we have to be taught. And we have to remain teachable, regardless how long we've been in the church. You know, we're gonna always be learning. We ain't gonna get it, ain't none of us arrived.
That's right.
We have not arrived. I don't care what your title is. You still human. You know, that's just a title. You know, and so, you know, that's one of the things, you know, that faith deals with that also. Faith harbors no prejudice. You have an out with your brother, you go to your brother in faith, believing that this is going to be resolved. You don't go to no individual all puffed up, you know, because that's out of order. Faith displays itself in works. Faith is more than mere words. It is more than knowledge. It is demonstrated by obedience and is worthy, you know, and is overly responds to the promises of God. Faith controls the tongue. Ain't that something? Woo! Faith controls the tongue. This small but immensely powerful part of the body must be held, the tongue. Ain't that something? It must be held in check. Our mouths, it get us, Lord. Our mouths will get us. Because what's in the heart comes out your mouth. The flip was used to say, the devil made me do it. That might be before some of y'all time. He might be. But, he used to say, the devil made me do it. He used to say that all the time. That was a TV comedy show. Faith can do it. Faith acts wisely. It gives us the ability to choose wisdom that is heavenly and to shun wisdom that is earthly. And it's not wisdom. Faith produces separation from the world and submission to God. It provides us with the ability to resist the devil and humbly draw near to God. Finally, faith waits patiently for the coming of the Lord. Through trouble and trial, it strives, complaining. Thank y'all so very much, and I hope and pray y'all have gotten something.
Yes.
I really